Hi there, my name's Rachel. I'm a mindfulness teacher at Mindful Therapies. I'm a cat mum. She's stopped meowing now, so that's good. I'm also a psychotherapist. I'm also a human in the middle of a pandemic and a second lockdown. So every day during this second lockdown, I am going to be releasing a little video with some of my thoughts and musings and practices and things like that. So it's Sunday as I'm recording, and the weekend's been a bit tricky. So yesterday I woke up just feeling had a little cry, did a Zumba class on Zoom, then I had another little cry. I then phoned a friend, talked and laughed and got some support, and did some pottering, did a class, did various other things, and then had a really nice Zoom conversation in the evening and went to bed feeling quite positive. So just in the space of a day, I'd gone from feeling lonely and lost and what's the point in all of this, how long is this going to last, to feeling really connected and really loved and really like, oh, there's new things happening and excitement. And so I wanted to share a practice that kind of helps us to hold all of that. In fact, I want to share two practices that helps us to share all of that. I'm going to share one of them now, and I'm going to share one of them tomorrow. There we go. So the first one is a meditation called the Bigger Container Practice. It comes from Breathworks, and the idea of the bigger container is that often when we are finding things difficult, we have our blinkers on and we only notice the unpleasant. We only notice the difficulty. And it's like nothing else exists. And what the bigger container is about is teaching us to put our suffering, our difficulty into a bigger context, essentially to dilute it. So the analogy that is often used is that if you imagine that your suffering is like a teaspoonful of salt, this is me holding a spoon, and the cat just jumped. You're right there. You're right, princess. You're so jumpy. You're right. Come and say hello. Come on. Come on. There we go. There she is. I'm just talking about suffering. Would you like to hear all about it? Come on. How do you manage your suffering? So if you imagine that your suffering is like a teaspoon full of salt. Oh, careful. And your awareness is like an egg cup full of water. You put the salt into the water, you mix it round. What's that water going to taste like? It's going to taste salty. So you can't do anything about that suffering. It is just how it is at the moment. So maybe it's physical pain, maybe it's a pandemic, maybe it's something that's happened in the past. Can't change the past. But what you can do is you can change your awareness. So imagine that your awareness is now a swimming pool full of water. And assume that they haven't added the chlorine yet. I always feel like I have to add that bit. You put the same amount of salt into that water. Mix it round. Maybe you need a bigger mixing spoon. What's the water going to taste like? Probably just going to taste like water. You're not going to notice the salt in the same way because it's been diluted. So this is what we need to start thinking about doing. We're not pretending that that unpleasant thing isn't there, but we're allowing the unpleasant to be only one of many things that we are aware of. So I'm going to lead that as an exercise now, where I'm going to invite you to notice something unpleasant in your present moment experience. So I don't mean think about the pandemic. I don't mean think about something bad that's going on. I mean, what's happening right now? So it might be, so I've noticed that I've got a slight hole in my shoe, which I didn't notice until I'd been out walking in the rain. So my unpleasant right now is a slightly damp right foot. So I take my attention to that unpleasant experience, I observe it. The unpleasant experience could be an emotion. It could be feeling anxious. It could be feeling sad. But it's what's happening right now. So we're going to notice that, and then we're going to turn to seek out something pleasant in the present moment. So that might be the breath. It might be feeling warm enough. Or in my case, feeling warm enough everywhere except for my right foot. It might be the nice comfy cushion behind you as you're sitting. It might be a sound. It might be, you might open your eyes and see something around you. So you can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. But finding something pleasant. And then we're going to open up to see if we can be aware of the pleasant and the unpleasant at the same time. And then we're going to just see if we can add as many things as possible. So we're putting our unpleasant experience in a bigger container. So coming back to my example of my foot. My foot is quite a small percentage of my entire body, and yet because it's feeling unpleasant, my attention goes there. What this practice is about is kind of giving that unpleasant experience the attention it deserves, not the amount of attention that we usually give. So, I don't know. Is my foot maybe 10% of my body? 5%? Not very much. So maybe my cold foot should only be 1 in 20 things that I'm aware of. So anyway, I've waffled enough. Let's do this as a little practice. So as always, find yourself a comfortable meditation position. You might choose to sit with your eyes closed. You might keep your eyes open. Totally up to you. And just starting to get a sense of being grounded. Lost my singing bowl. How did I manage that? Oh, here it is. So lightly closing your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Establishing a sense of being grounded. Checking in with how you are right now. Observing the breath. And when you're ready, turning your attention towards something in your experience right now that's unpleasant. So that might be a pain, might be a discomfort, it might be an emotion, but it's something that's actually happening right now. It might even be a sound that you don't like, but something that's happening in this moment. So it's not an idea, it's a thing, it's an experience. And seeing if you can observe it with a sense of interest and curiosity. I'm not trying to make it go away. Not trying to fix it. And then turning your attention away from the unpleasant to seek out something pleasant that you can appreciate. So you might appreciate the breath. You might appreciate the comfort of a nice cardigan or a nice cushion. You might open your eyes and look out the window and see the blue sky and the trees. Allow yourself to appreciate whatever is pleasant right now. There is always something pleasant. And then broadening out your attention, so it's like you're zooming out and seeing if you can be aware of the pleasant and the unpleasant at the same time. So the discomfort and the comfort. And then seeing if you can be aware of more things. So being aware of as many different, pleasant and neutral experiences all at once. So you're putting your unpleasant in a bigger container. And noticing how that feels. And then when you're ready, letting go of that practice. Just observing any sounds around you. And if your eyes have been closed, opening them when you're ready. So hopefully you found that helpful. Tomorrow I'm going to do a similar exercise in terms of it being about putting things into a bigger context, but it's going to be a drawing exercise. Very simple drawing, don't get worried. So if you're going to tune in tomorrow, I would suggest bringing a pen and a bit of paper with you. Hello, princess, you're back. You're going to sit on me. It means I can't get my bit of paper out for tomorrow. Typical. So, hope you found that helpful. Tune in again tomorrow. Please subscribe and all of that other stuff. And remember, you're not alone. Bye. Say goodbye, Shima.